him, and his handcuffs are too tight, man.
Hey, let me do a little tap dance in your head. Shut up. This friggin' guy. What's the matter?
I'm too old for your crap.
Sean Penn and Robert Duvall are gang crime unit cops trying to combat the rampant gang violence in Los Angeles in Colors.
Our first movie this week is Colors, and it's an ambitious police movie starring Robert Duvall as a streetwise veteran Los Angeles police officer assigned to the gang unit, and Sean Penn as the hot-headed young officer who becomes his partner. Duvall is a realist. He knows how things work on the street. He knows how to cultivate contacts, and he knows what to observe and what to ignore when he's out there. Penn has a more confrontational approach. He believes in wading in and knocking heads, and so the cops are fighting with each other almost from the moment they become partners.
You think I'm over the hill? You want a friggin' piece of me?
Right now? Huh? You think you got the market cornered?
You think I'm not friggin' crazy? Go ahead, try me. Try me, you jerk.
It takes a street emergency to suggest to Penn that Duvall may actually know his way around the city streets.
Ain't the one about to shoot.
Eventually, the relationship between the two men finds a common ground, although in this scene, they're still ready to part company.
Listen, I spoke to Melendez at DSD, okay? I'll be getting a new partner first of the month. You ever have a bad relationship with a woman where you fight all the time, like, constantly? Even when you love her. It's like having two heads. One says red, the other should have said green. But once you had one that wasn't like that, you never go back again. If you see it's like that, you leave it. You don't point a finger and blame someone. You just go your separate ways.
And in a way, their relationship is a bit like a marriage, because as they fight, they learn things about each other. They don't learn more by communicating, they learn more by not communicating. The relationship between Penn and Duvall is the best thing in this movie, and they're both very good at taking somewhat conventional characters we've seen from other movies, and making them into particular people in this one. But what's interesting about the movie is the way Dennis Hopper, the director, places those two cops in the middle of several larger stories. The gang members are not simply targets in Colors. We learn a lot about them, and we begin to understand some of the things that are important to them, including the camaraderie and even the sense of family that they find in a gang and nowhere else. There's a scene where they try to explain that to the cops. It's very effective. The movie has a lot of action in it, but it's also surprisingly ambitious in showing the whole world of police operate in, and not just a kind of them and us situation.
Yeah, you know, you said the most interesting thing was the relationship between the two cops. I actually found the most interesting thing was the gangs.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed by this. I spent a year living in Los Angeles. I mean, I live in the city of Chicago, as do you. We know there are gang problems in every major city. I have not seen a film that brought home the enormity of the problem, the size of the gangs, the hopelessness of the police in attempting to combat them, like this film does. There's been a lot of controversy based on a lot of ignorance of some people saying that this film is showing cops being brutal. To me, what this is showing is cops having virtually no chance to combat this whole secret society that just overwhelms them. To me, the film was a revelation.
I agree with what you say. What's interesting, too, though, is the fact that the way Duvall understands the way that the gangs operate as part of a social structure. It's sad, but it's true, and this movie, by going inside a gang, shows that it's true, that for many of these kids, they're not just ganging together to shoot people and make money. They're ganging together really to have a place to belong and a code that they can subscribe to in an anarchic society. Well, so that aspect is interesting.
There also are a whole bunch that are in there for the money, for the drugs, and for having a good time. 2 thumbs up for the impressive Cops and Gangs picture, Colors, which reveals the inner workings of both groups. So Colors is the picture that we recommend.
That's right, and that's it for this week.